Hey guys, welcome to VA Friyay. So I wanted to talk about what it looks like being a VA seller. Like if you're selling a house that you bought on a VA loan, what it looks like when it comes to buying a house, when it comes to like contingencies or being potentially non-contingent, and what it looks like in the current market. Of course, before we get started, go do a dad joke. So, what's a vampire's favorite ship? It's a blood vessel. A blood vessel. Pew, pew, pew. Anyway, so when we get right into it, I want to talk about how veterans or military family members can buy a house and also have a house that they have right now based that they bought a couple years ago. So there's a couple scenarios that they can go about. One, they can keep the house and rent it out and buy another house. How that works is essentially they would say they rent out the house, like maybe that's what they want to do. They can rent out the house and they have enough of their VA left to buy the next house, right? In that case, it would be a non-contingent, putting them in the most competitive position that they can be put in, right? So this will work in places like, for example, it's a really low cost area. So, for example, if they're moving to the south or something like that, there's a very strong chance that they have their VA left to buy another house in that area without having to sell the previous house. Also, this also works if they don't want to be contingent as well, because they intend on still selling the house but they don't want to be contingent on the next house. So depending on the client's finances, they might still be intending to sell the house within that amount of time when they move. They just don't want to be contingent, which makes sense. And they have the funds required let's say they already have the funds required in their bank account without having to use it from the profits from the sale of their house. So that's one aspect of it. Another aspect is that they can just be contingent, right? Obviously, this puts them in a less competitive position. However, they can do this. And how that would work is, if it was contingent, essentially the closing of the sale of their house, and this closing of the buy of their house could be all in one day. The sale has to happen at least one day. That's the soonest, on the same day. Or it could be like the sale on the day before and the buy of the next day. The closing of the sale from the day before and the close of the buy on the following day. So that's one of the things that can't happen, because it essentially you can do a force update with the VA, especially if they don't have enough eligibility to have more than one VA loan at one time, or they have to be contingent. We can force update the VA, and that way it doesn't look like they're carrying two VA loans at one time. Another option is they could, potentially, depending on their plan, depending on what they intend to do, they could refinance the current VA loan into a non-VA loan and do the one-time restoration process. Again, I have to say this a lot. The fact of refinancing a VA loan into a non-VA loan will not restore their VA entitlement. I have personally been screwed over by myself on this, and I can show you exactly where it says in the VA guidelines. Keep in mind, the VA loan is not meant to be an investment loan, so they put a lot of bumpers in regards to how the VA loan is used to make sure it's a primary residence. So those are the couple options when it comes to being selling a house and trying to buy another house at the next location, even in the same area, as long as they intend to occupy the property as their primary residence. So those are the quick scenarios that probably applies to most people, even when they're even getting out of the military, maybe they're transferring to a different state, active duty transfers or anything like that, or something like that. So those are the quick, easy answers. Let me know what you guys heard in your scenarios, and maybe I can help navigate that process, or tell me about the stories that you guys have been through. So otherwise, that's really all I got for you. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you guys for Market Mondays. Peace.